Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Blue Maxima, and I'm here taking a look at Guard Duty. This is a point-and-click adventure game inspired by the point-and-click adventure games of old. Everything from old-school AGS projects to, like, The Secret of Monkey Island and Discworld. Apparently there's a big fat Discworld reference dropped in the first, 5 minutes of this game, but I haven't actually played Discworld, so I completely missed it. But yes, this is more or less just one big tribute to that sort of game, and for the most part it actually does pretty well in that sense. Only let down by something which, well, a couple of things I should say, which are really Ratalaika's fault. I've got no qualms about saying that whatsoever. I am almost convinced that Ratalaika is the only reason to really dislike this game. But anyway, there is a story. You are a worthless Todger, more or less, and you end up letting in the guy who kidnaps the princess, and you have to go and rescue her, more or less. There is apparently, or I say apparently, but there's no way that this isn't going to come back in the future, because there is a not even 5 minute scene, a 2-minute scene that takes place 1,000 years in the future. And then it pops back to 1,000 years in the past, and you're controlling a guy who looks exactly the same. So it's yeah, that's going to come into it eventually, but hasn't shown up yet in the part of the game that I've played. I've played through the entirety of the first act, so this is still first impressions as always. I'm not going to comment on the quality of the story in the later acts, because I haven't seen it, I haven't played it.
What's happened to you?
Name your reasons why I shouldn't. So, first thing I want to bring up is the controls. Now, the controls in this game kind of suck, and I really don't think it's the developer's fault, because this game was originally released on the PC. And, well, it makes sense for a point-and-click adventure game to be on the PC, because that's where the genre started, that's where they control the most comfortably, and that's where, well, it's still most comfortable to play most point-and-click adventure games to this day, because on most systems, I say most, because we're playing this on a PlayStation Vita, of course, it's kind of hard to control that sort of thing in particular. But they gave it a decent shot here, but the thing is, I think these controls were designed by Ratalaika and not by the original developers of this game, because the analog stick is way too sensitive. It flies all over the place, and it can be really hard to get a precise aim on any particular object, especially when you're in the middle of a conversation with someone. You'll move the cursor down to the lines that you can pick from, and it'll take you ages just to gently nudge the analog stick over in any particular way, and that really sucks. That genuinely sucks, because I find it to make the game a lot harder to play. Now, you can use the touchscreen. I will not deny this. You are able to use the touchscreen, but there is a problem with this. There are two different things you can do with each object in the game. You can use it, which will do anything from pick it up to talk to a dude or whatever, or you can look at it, which will do any number of particular things, including some plot-relevant ones that you will need to progress the story. And you can't do that on the touchscreen, as far as I can tell. There's no modifier that you can press in order to be I'll just hold this button, tap something, and then I'll examine it instead of use it. Doesn't work that way. The only way you can actively examine something is by using the analog stick and the circle button, which is kind of shit. It's also really not helped out by the fact that the areas that you can click in the world itself are a bit off. Some of them are too big, some of them are too small. That's the one thing that I blame on this developer, but at the same time, again, we are talking about a point-and-click adventure that's been translated to a bloody analog stick. They probably didn't think it was going to end up on an analog stick, so yeah, not great. Kind of a pain in the ass, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. There are also a couple of controls that they don't tell you about. The main one that I kind of ran into early on might be a fault of the graphic designer, but thanks to the way that the borders are, I wasn't actually able to see that I could move past a certain point because it kind of looked like a flat wall. My fault. And the controls themselves also have another issue, where sometimes if you're pressing on something, say to skip dialogue lines, and you press the X button over and over and over again in order to get through like dialogue or something, it will detect the last press of the X button twice. So not only will it kick you out of the string that you were in, but it'll automatically put you right back on the same thing. This can kind of be remedied by moving the analog stick while the text conversation is going on, because it actually still moves the cursor in the background, despite the fact that you can't actually see it in the middle of like a dialogue scene. It's really bizarre. And these two issues, which are the analog stick control being extremely imprecise by the amount that you would want it to be for a point-and-click adventure game, and the fact that you can end up repeating the same thing by trying to skip through something that you might have accidentally clicked on because the controls are oversensitive. Yeah, that's the main problem with this game, and I am 100% willing to blame it on Ratalaika, because it's a Ratalaika port, and it seems like something they do. I also want to say that yes, this is a Ratalaika port, and yes, the performance is not very good. Thankfully, there aren't too many opportunities for this to ring its head out, but I will say that there are a couple of situations where the sound will lag, the speech will sound distorted, the frame rate will go to shit, there'll be visible screen tearing. There are very few places where this happens, but it always happens where it matters most, where there's actually like action going on screen. So yeah, not great. Good job, Ratalaika. You kinda gave a broken ankle to a game that probably would have stood pretty well on its own, because it's not that bad of a game. Just overall, like just look at it. For one, like it's clear that someone's put in a lot of effort to making the graphical style approach the old school adventure games. It's not as detailed, it's not as like vibrant or colorful, and it's clearly not got the same amount of talent, but someone's clearly taken a lot of inspiration and put a lot of hard work into making this graphical style, and it honestly looks really good. There is nothing wrong with it in the grand scheme of things. I actually don't mind looking at it at all, minus some of the more unpleasant things, like the fact that the main character's butt crack is hanging out all the time. But even just things like the little overworld thing you get in Chapter 1, the individual character animations, some of the things they got going on here, for the most part it looks great. There's a couple of weird things going on, like when the guy got thrown, like when Tombird, our hero, got thrown out of the castle doors. It was obviously a little bit less animated than I would have liked, but then they pop in these huge, like, full screen animations that legitimately look good. Like, there's nothing wrong with them. They're well detailed, they're well animated, they got plenty of frames. It just, seriously, there's just minor imperfections in what is otherwise a pretty well done art style. I got nothing particularly wrong with it. The sound is a little different. Now, I don't know what made me think of this, but this is going to be a reference that nobody on this channel is going to get. So, if you've ever watched Yahtzee Crowshaw's videos over on his personal YouTube channel where he went through the point-and-click adventure games that he made in his youth, and himself and his friend Gabriel ended up doing like little dubs over the top of it. Like they ended up voicing the characters themselves because they weren't actually voiced. They were just like text boxes. Every single goddamn character in this game, except like one or two who are trying to be treated more seriously, sounds like those two. It sounds like a parody of British accents, and it's so bizarre. Especially in the intro cutscene, it sounds almost exactly like a conversation that was being had by two characters in his The Trials of Odysseus Kent video. And it's ridiculous. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just so weird. I think it's clearly meant to be a parody of just how ridiculous some of the voice acting could get, but at the same time, it's just come back full circle. It's just ended up sounding pretty ridiculous in and of itself, especially in this segment in the first part of this video, where Tonbert's face is full of bee stings and he can't talk to anyone, so you need to wander around and look for how you fix your face. And it's certainly something. It's It's so strange. They put in so much effort too. Like, this game is 1.5 gig. It's the biggest game I've seen on Vita in a decent length of time, just because of the amount of voice acting that's in it. Every single dialogue line is voiced, which is an appreciable amount of effort. And again, it's not bad. There's nothing particularly wrong with the voice acting. The women sound a bit too similar to each other, but all of the men have pretty different voice acting. All of the lines come out nice and clear, except for the technical problems, which I touched on earlier. There's nothing particularly wrong with the way the game handles the voice acting whatsoever. It just sounds so ridiculous at times that I can't help but just chuckle at how ridiculous it is. Admittedly, I laughed a little bit more at the dialogue, at the voice acting than I did the dialogue, because the dialogue itself can be a little bit on the nose. Like, you've got, for example, in the town center, you've got the guy down the bottom. They play his gag a little bit too hard. Just a little bit. Not too much, but not like massively, not massively too much. Because he's very clearly meant to be a Solid Snake reference, but they hammer the joke home so hard that it just kind of ceases being funny. And they do that a few times throughout this, especially towards the end of Act 1, where you end up, especially towards the end of Act 1, where you end up needing DLC, which is like a death liberation contract or something like that, where it's basically like, hey, we don't have to deal with you if you die. Something like that. There are a few jokes where they go a bit more subtle and it works way better as a result, but admittedly they just kind of try and hammer it home a bit too much for it to be a bit funny to me. And they have some ridiculously long dialogue. Like, I start skipping it later on because you'll ask someone what their backstory is and you'll be sitting there listening to voice acting for 10 minutes. It gets kind of ridiculous.
Stop bothering.
Then again, if you appreciate the writing and the fact that they just hide jokes, but they're so far out in the open, it's like Solid Snake with bloody fireworks going off instead of camouflage, but nevertheless, it isn't terrible either. Like, there's nothing particularly wrong with it, but outside of the humor, it hasn't got that much going for it, especially in Act 1, where you basically know what you're doing, you know what's going on, there's not much they can really add to the overall plot. You just need to get out of town, more or less, and there's just not that much going for it outside of the humor. It is very clearly a humor-focused, a humor-focused point-and-click adventure. Again, nothing wrong with that. If you enjoy the jokes, you'll probably enjoy the game, more or less.
And why are you looks like the elephant.
But yeah, it's not bad writing. It's just writing that I wasn't particularly in love with, mainly because, again, the jokes are just so out in the open, and that's basically all they've got going for them. The puzzles aren't too bad. There's one or two that I ran into which gave me a little bit of trouble. One eventually had me going through a walkthrough, and the explanation made sense in context, but I just gotta say it was a little bit rough to expect people to think, oh, I need to threaten this guy to go and visit the king, otherwise he'll go get his head chopped off. That's one of the puzzle solutions for you if you need help with it. The rest are all pretty simple if you just keep your mind in a sort of fantasy setting. I'm obviously going to end up going through a fair few of these solutions in this video. I'll try and cut out a fair bit of it just so that there isn't too much like wandering around, but yeah. It's not rough. It's not something that I would call particularly, harsh on the puzzle game scale. You can't die, you can't screw yourself over, you can't do anything that'll leave you with a broken game. It's one of those sorts of games which I appreciate. So, really, I got nothing wrong with it. Just, you know, sometimes it might be a little bit rough. That's not terrible. Not terrible at all. So yeah, what else do I have to say about it? I mean, Radalaika screwed up the port as always, but the voice acting is enjoyable. It looks great for, like, it's not tip-top, but I'll give it a lot of credit for looking as nice as it does. It has comedic humor, which at least makes sense, but it's a little bit too on the nose about it for me to enjoy it personally. But if you enjoy the comedy, sure. And the gameplay is pretty basic, but otherwise enjoyable point and click fare. So I'm just gonna let the game speak for itself for a while. If you enjoy the writing and the jokes, stop the video, pick it up and play through it. You'll have a good time. Just you'll have to deal with some control issues and performance issues, because this is Ratalaika we're talking about. They're kind of shit like that. Yeah, that's it basically. I'm gonna shut up now. This has been Blue Maxima, and I'll see you all next time.
Whoa, don't mind Beth. You know. Oh, ain't that cute? I think he's. Oh, right, yeah. Nah, right, you in. Can't understand the. Just give it. What are the. What are you? Poor lad. Tells you what, lad. And I pride myself. I'll cut you up. You can have just one, but choose wisely for one. You have wisely. There you go.
The stimulant used to clean food.
Whoa, don't mind Beth. You still here? Can you see him?
The stimulant used to clean food.
You would have thought you'd got. Have you spoken to the fruit? Look, this whole come back. You would. Look, this whole conversation is come back. You again. Would have thought you'd got. Look, come back.
Easy business.
Ah, come to your senses, have you? One last case. Oh, well, hello there, handsome. Come on.
Ah, so after that stuff, 10. Pleasure doing bit.
Wow, I feel better already. For a moment there, I thought I'd be stuck like that forever. Maybe folk will start taking me more seriously now. Maybe.
Has something taken your fancy?
Actually, I have a few questions if you wouldn't mind.
Sure. Always got time for my paying customers. You've got money.
Tell me about yourself, Sam.
Well,
How about the story behind Mighty Fine
why thanks, Tonbert. My father is a highly he spends his life traveling. Every few moons he drops by. Most of it is junk, but so that's about it.
Wow,
That's right. Always
your dad.
sure.
You sure have a
Yep. Folk normally snap up the good stuff early on. If you'd like, I can sign you up to our mailing list. We're GDPR compliant. That way you'll know as soon as we get new stuff.
That'd be great.
No problem.
Barrack is a member.
Sure is.
Awesome. Shh. Thanks for the
Has,
Actually,
sure. You've got.
thanks for the chat. Oh,
Afraid not. Those are for.
oh, do they work?
Couldn't say.
So,
Look,
I'm 20.
can I
Huh. I'll take the brasserie.
And what exact?
I don't know.
Disgust.
No, I mean, it's.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what.
Well, it's not for sale and we. Can I?
I'll.
Dis.
I'm not sure.
Well, can I?
Could I have this?
Oh, could I?
Could I have this?
Oh, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, that item is reserved. Could I interest you in something else?
How about that peculiar looking box? The one with the smiley face?
Oh, right. Sorry, chap. A true relic. Couldn't.
Oh, right you are.
Can I interest you in anything else?
What's with that
Special should be.
Can I have it?
No,
What's with that Can I have it?
no.
Excuse me, sir. I'd like to ask...
Right, well, make it quick.
So,
Just turning the
I think...
Oh no, like a black.
I like you.
Thank you.
Do you ever...
The world isn't ready to see the horror forsaken upon me.
Oh, right.
Please do not pity me.
Your
The Sons of Liberty. Liberty was my widowed and left to care for triplets. Eli, George, and I. David. Despite our differences, my brother, before long, our agriculture, we clipped shrubs for the King and Queen of Westbrook, tended the floor at the...
That's where
Aye, a place...
Wow. So,
It's dangerous. You never know what...
ain't that the
We were young and careless. I still remember the look in their eyes. And just like that, the Sons of Liberty were no more.
That's so...
I won't...
So...
Oh, right,
cool.
I thought that was obvious. Maybe I need to work on the delivery.
Well, I'll be seeing you.
Right you are.
I can't go in. I'd be the laugh. I can't go in. I'd be... Not got much use. Please. I don't want to appear measly, but I worry what would happen if I gave away all the coins. Hey there!
Keep your eye.
Have you got...
I see that. What can I help?
So,
Not often. We get... Why'd you... Well, I...
neat! So, what's your story?
Story?
Well, you know, tell me about yourself.
That we have.
Sure.
Well, it all... Barry and I was working on a job. The sort of thing you meet a guy. It was easy. Mind you see, wasn't normally a problem. But this... Have you ever...
The, men without noses.
Nasty folk want nothing more than to take what's not theirs. You see, these are folk who live for the sea. Certainly not the type you would want. Anyway, we was about 3 skips from our port when I looked deaf in the eye that night. Lit faces like a... I swear, those men ain't human.
Didn't like the look of them one bit.
Barry here, God bless him, he saved my life. Slept through the whole ordeal, of course. Those locust berries weren't messing around. By the time he came to, the ship was empty. Nothing left but a gaping hole in the bulkhead. Barry had no choice. It was time. With the lady taking water, Barry quickly fashioned himself a buoyancy aid. Me, on the other hand, well, I did what I knew best. Found a tiny little stowaway on their ship. Figured it's safe.
But what about Barry?
Barry's not like you or me, son.
Aye.
Anyway, the wind was on his side. Slowly, he worked his way through, killing anyone who stood in his way. From the poop deck to the cockboat, to the gallery to the guns. Barry would seek vengeance. Meanwhile, I had discovered the rows upon rows of crates. This was not an opportunity. Anyway, the rest.
Wow. So,
Most of them, yeah. We still need to top up from time to time. Having our own belt helps.
wow. You could have been shackled and sold for labour if it wasn't for Barry.
Like I said.
You don't owe me nothing, but
Ah,
So, lad,
why stay here though, in Wrinklewood?
well, you see, after we set up, he was never a fan of the big so we travelled north.
And here
Yup, nothing.
well,
out.
thanks. If you'd care to spare a minute, sir.
Go on then.
Sir,
A lot more than you. Besides, these are all made on commission.
I'll have you know I work for the Wrinklewood Night's Watch.
You think I don't know that? I also know you waste most of your wages over at the Drunken Monk, Tondbert.
I like to support local businesses.
Look, these swords ain't made for folk like you and me. Why don't you pop on down to Sad? Might be a bit more in your price range.
I doubt it. So,
What kind? You...
I mean,
Aren't you a
And
broadswords? Maces.
wow,
Someone's
thanks for your time.
mace.
Well, I'll be damned. Tomber!
Now, that's more like it.
Can't believe I didn't recognize you, Paul. How'd you mess up your face all like that?
Ugh, I've had the worst day, Barrett.
Need somebody's ear to bend? I'm here all day.
Well, after what seemed like a fairly
Why?
this led deep into the night until dawn, for when unfortunately it became a...
Oh? Wow.
You're telling...
On the plus side, though, things can't get much worse. In fact, I got something that'll make them half-inch better. Have a look in the chest. Keys hidden in the usual place.
It's locked tight. Should be in here. Bingo. Aha, so that's...
Kept it safe for you, Tondy.
It's a little crowded here. If you'll excuse me. Ta-da!
Gotta admit, you did look kinda messed up earlier. Even for you.
Sorry about earlier.
Hey there!
Ah, yes. Tonbert, isn't it?
That's me.
And how can I help you today, Tonbert?
What do you know?
Oh, there's the Elder Scar, the Deadwoods, a deep, sprawling, not for the light. Beyond that is the great... Oh, and I hear we now have an outbreak of wrinkleworm. Ghastly things, fully grown, they're the size of a house.
Should we not be a little concerned?
Not a lot we can do. Besides...
Yikes, I'll be sure. I've heard a lot of talk.
South of Wrinkle, there's the 7 cities of Alcafard. Travel even further.
That sounds... Ugh,
Right, of course.
I might just...
Not a...
So,
My I've lived behind...
how so?
Well, it was all... None of these... You see, we weren't...
What do you mean?
Well, long before... The first king of... An entitled rich boy from the... A man... He ran into town and murdered... What was once a...
You mean the...
Exactly. He filled the halls with this cheap tat and paved over the entrance.
You mean to say... There...
Doesn't really. Anyway, he didn't last long. Pembrim Alcafard was a wicked man. Pembrim reigned over Wrinklewood for become nothing. That's why there's so many of you guards. After the war, there was nothing left of... Soon, Pembrim grew tired. Of course, that... I couldn't have been happier when Theo took the reign. Such a kind fellow.
That he is. I couldn't imagine a better man for the job.
Quite. Well, any...
That was...
You touch me, I break tiny man, and I make white skin soup.
Tombert, you're looking better.
You guys suck.
Did I just hear that right?
Don't appreciate that tone of voice, Tomber.
But you had me kicked out of the castle. In my blooming long johns.
No. How exactly was we to know that was you?
Yeah, you weren't exactly talking proper.
Didn't make no sense from what I heard.
And yet, Normally you're so quick to notice my dwarven roots.
A lot of dwarves about.
Yeah, you ain't so special.
Normally have beards though, wouldn't you say?
He's playing silly buggers with you.
You looking for an encore? Dusty?
No, wait a second. Look, I'm really sorry. I was just frustrated. It's been a rough morning. I've overstepped my mark.
Look, Bobby's shaking.
I'm really sorry, guys. I just wanted to see the king.
What you want Dusty for? I'm not sure. Do we have a problem here, Tom Burt?
Certainly not. No, nada. No, just on my way. It was lovely talking to you fellas.
All right, Dusty. That'll be all. Dusty tired. King will be very happy to see you, Tom Burt. Here, give him this when you see him.
What is it?
Nothing fancy, is it?
No, nothing. Just go.
Psst, Knuckles. Did he take it?
Delivering the message as we speak.
Man, you guys are too hard on him.
Rather him than me.
I'll drink to that.
What do you think the king will do?
Beats me. It ain't gonna be pretty.
Only time will tell.
Ah, Tonbert, where have you been, lad?
My apologies, sir. You see, I've had the worst.
Yes. You see, I've looked everywhere. Would you happen to know where my daughter is?
No, Bernard. Not seen Miss Fairman since the tournament.
Crafty little whippersnapper. Oh, what's that you've got there, lad?
Here you go, my lord. Believe it's a pantry requisition.
Right. At the hour of sunrise this morn.
Ready?
Okay, Fool's Gold, Act 4. And... Firebolt! Start the bleeding camera! Action!
There once was a man with the will of a warrior. He guarded the kingdom whilst most laid their head. To carry his duties through ice, wind and rain. To know that his efforts are never in vain. I guess that's my singing practice done for today. Oh boy, I can't wait to eat supper. I'm a poor orphan and I haven't eaten in 4 days. Oh no, who is this strange man approaching me?
I'm here to take all your gold.
But I'm but a poor orphan peasant and I don't have any money.
Then I will take your loot.
No, anything but my music.
What was that? The crystal's gone again. I told you not to buy the cheap ones.
Oh my.
Bloody idiot! The king will have our heads for this.
Definitely something bad going on over there. Do you guys not hear that?
Surprise! The look on your face, priceless. Anyway, you're coming with me.
Princess Fairman is missing.
Oh, God. Sir, you... never fear, sir. Tomba Willer, he will save her. You can be sure of that. I'll go to the end of the world for Fairman. I mean, hopefully I won't have to. I'm sure she's not gone that far, right? Okay, yeah. I'm gonna leave now.
I'm telling you, mate. This ain't no taxi.
Silence! I demand you take me beyond the scar.
Nope, not gonna happen, mate. You can stand there all day for what I care. Ain't nothing stopping me from doing my job.
Tundra Expelsi!
Why'd you do that?
What's the matter, Tombert? King not like the news?
I can't believe you guys.
Hey, somebody had to tell him.
Yeah, and you were so insistent on us letting you in. Just made sense, you know?
Oh, please tell me someone is out there looking for her.
Oh, don't worry, you little lad.
Yeah, we got the Knights of Wrinklewood to handle that one. 4 of Wrinklewood's most decorated heroes rode out of those gates this morning.
But they're old and, well, quite rotund.
Hey, it's not my place to comment on the physical stature of those lads.
Yeah, King Payton boys are pretty paddy for their troubles. Yeah, I'm sure they'll have her back in no time at all. Meanwhile, I suggest you find someone else to bother.
Yeah, scram kid. We've seen enough of you.
Poor Ferriman. The Knights of Wrinklewood are no match for what lives beyond those gates. They're veterans, not heroes. There must be something I can do. I'm not ready to just sit by and wait for the funeral. Not again. Damn it, Tombert, think! Ugh, that's not important now. That's it. The note said that the princess vanished this morning. The scene took place up on Lover's Walk. I bet there I'll find... This is my war. I can't cock this up.
I bet you will.
Sorry, Tom, but can't let you past. I happen to be looking after an important crime scene, one which you're not allowed in.
Hey, have you got a minute?
Doesn't look like I'm going anywhere fast.
Tell me everything you know about the kidnapping.
Why?
I need to know every last detail. It's really important.
Well, I wasn't there or anything. All I know is what Hendrik told me.
Tell me what he told you.
Just there was this big flash in the sky, then the cinemagraph thing broke. Before they knew it, there's this big old bang and everyone started freaking out. It wasn't until they stopped screaming that they realised Ferriman was missing.
So it was definitely some kind of witchcraft.
Seems so. If you want to know more, you should go talk to Hendrik. He was there when all this happened.
Remind me, who's Hendrik?
Big fella, with the beard. He's got hair the colour of flame. Guy knows more about a kidnapping than anyone.
Let's chat. Tell me.
I'd rather.
Huh?
Honestly, I'm really not in the mood. Save it.
Oh, hope you feel better soon. Anything?
Since when?
Hey, you not see it?
No, mate.
Well then.
Whatever you say, Tom Dirt.
Thanks.
Aye.
Hey, Hendrik, what's up with you?
Don't take me away!
Easy, fella. It's me, Tombert.
Oh God, Tombert, the things I've seen. I've seen the darkness, the end.
Oh, come on. We've all been there. One too many drinks. Everything is spinning. You're there, crying on the bathroom floor, waiting to die.
It's not like that. This was clear as day. The whole kingdom was on fire. I saw the castle burned to the ground.
That's silly. The castle's made of stone. What about Ferriman? Did you see who took her?
When I came to, she was gone. Nothing left but a busted up loop. The other guys didn't see nothing neither.
So no one saw anything? The princess just disappeared, just like that?
Gone, without a trace. If you ask me, I'd say it was an inside job. Someone drugged the morning gruel, for sure. I ain't ever had a dream that looked so real, you know?
Well, if that was the case, how come the cinemagraphers didn't see anything?
Exactly! That's why we locked him up. Smart, eh? You've got to watch your back.
Right, so what you're saying is... Sure.
Look, I'll have you know I've had a very stressful morning.
Not half as bad as Ferrum. Well, you've been incredibly unhelpful.
Wait!
Yes?
The boys did spot some dodgy bloke stumbling into the mug. No way he could have pulled it off. Funny though. It's a bit...
Well, that's something. Cheers.
Don't let you...
Let's see what's in here. There's a used hanky, half-eaten sandwich, set of mouldy dentures, and a key. I think this is the key to my bedroom. Well, it's worth a go.
Yeah, sure, just take it. Be my guest. Bloody guards.
Hey there, little fella.
Ah.
Barkeep, don't take long. I'll leave it. Hey,
Can't you see?
how's the dart?
Darts?
No, I mean the
Do I look like
Well,
I'm partaking in you?
right. Got any tip? I dabble.
Yes.
Charming. How's it?
What? No, got just
Well,
pa.
so.
The small
Oh,
ear.
right, and
Not really. Didn't look much.
what do you mean?
Well, call me old fat. Always got something. This one was different though.
Right, so you're telling me there was another suspicious-looking sorcerer?
Yeah, that's right. Much shorter though.
Ferrum.
Yeah, no doubt he saw a young lad.
This is all.
Glad. Anyway,
I'll have a lot more than that to say.
looked like he was heading for. Say, wasn't pretty good.
Well,
Right.
hey, Chris.
Oh, wait. What's that?
What's your poison, Chris?
Oh, there. Elderflower and dangleberry juice.
Huh? Why have I not tasted this exotic beverage?
Oh, it's not on tap.
I thought booze came...
Sid, some of it.
Oh. So?
To wrinkle. My... What brought...
Me? To be honest.
Oh, yeah. Father wasn't pleased at all. Lots of damage. Father...
Yeah. Your father...
Sure, he keeps the books.
Oh.
Yep, you'll know.
Oh, mind you.
That's okay.
That's thing. So?
I like...
Rose?
Not really.
Someone nick...
Yeah.
Hmm.
Why all...
Well, Princess...
Oh, no.
You tell him. Gone. I must have looked.
Oh.
Anyways, thanks for your...
No.
It was nice speaking.
You too, Tonbert.
Barkeep, if you wouldn't mind.
Right you are.
One for this poor fellow, too. Chin up, mate. The guy'll have the princess back before you know it.
Fire.
Huh?
Flames.
Sorry, I don't smoke.
Eternal hellfire.
Right. Barkeep, you know this man?
Never seen him before in me life, sir.
Crimson cast upon the skies. The fog that burns the eyes.
Seems he's talking in tongues. How many has he had?
Your guess is as good as mine. The man was blind drunk when he got here.
The cogs are in motion. Pretty cog. Whirring, grinding. Click, click, click.
Sir, you,
The dawn of sin. One's here and gone again.
So, what's the deal with all this talk about cogs?
A virgin bleeds for the wealth of the majesty. When one is lost, 1,000 follow.
When one is lost? You mean?
1,000 follow.
A foul... What?
And another, and another.
You've really got to stop drinking.
About this pointy stick here. I try to collect as many things as possible to put in my sack.
Only the word... I...
Don't see much of your type round here. Oh, so you're on one of them quests. Get a lot of adventure.
Mike, through the...
Cheer up, mate. Even when life knocks you down. Exhibit A. I just lost...
We have made our bed, and now we can... In sobriety, I chose my fate.
Right. Hey, barkeep. You know, the one that's...
Right before sending you ass first into a week-long hangover?
That's the one.
Right you are.
Fast as you can, please. There are lives at stake.
When one is lost, 1,000 follow.
1,000 follow? What's that mean, then?
And then another. Another still.
Damn it. This conversation's normally the other way round. We really need to sober you up.
For he who tastes the blood of the dynasty will forever hold his own.
Barkeep, what's the hold-up?
Coffee. Black.
Down the hatch, mate.
Blech.
Talk to me.
Fine, just no more of that rancid black piss. I'll tell you what you need to know, but you won't like it one bit.
What's the deal with...
Like clockwork, the car, there's...
You sure? I'll ask again.
I don't know. More...
What do you mean?
I tried. I could have stopped it. God.
Stop.
He was my student. Big ambitions.
Let me guess.
This is not... Tis the... No.
Sure sounds...
That boy.
So what did your apprentice do, exactly?
Do you really want to know how the world ends?
Well, I've still got half a pint left.
On your head be it then. It all started with a book. An ancient tome my bloodline has kept secret generation through generation. It was until this day that these pages of evil had been kept firmly shut. That is, until I carelessly left the door to my study unlocked. The lad was smart. I'll give him that. He must have already spotted the lockup in one of our monthly student-teacher catch-up meetings. A lavishly decorated wooden chest with intricately detailed gold trim. Securely locked, of course. He was waiting for the perfect opportunity to satisfy his curiosity.
And this is where you kept the fancy book?
Right. The book was adorned with an occult sigil, one said to influence those weak of mind. I believe this is when his corruption consumed him.
Did you see him after this? Didn't fancy going after him?
Oh yes, we met on several occasions. The lad was brief, always in a hurry to be somewhere else. I was sure it was him that had taken the book, so I followed him. He skipped between towns, villages, and cities like a cartographer, never staying more than one night, but he was always sure to visit the local regency. He must have visited every castle in the Isles, from the deep south all the way to the northmost settlement. And then he found Wrinklewood.
That's us!
I followed him here last night. Some idiot working the gates let him walk right in. There's no wonder he chose her.
Hold up. Something's not right here. Are you saying that your apprentice kidnapped the princess?
Keep it down. I just want to sit here in peace and drown my sorrows. I don't need half the kingdom out for my blood.
No, Feck! We have to do something.
It's no use. He's probably already done it.
Done what?
A sacrifice of royal blood. A deal with the devil. I have seen the future as I gazed upon the looking glass. It all burns.
Hold up! Sacrifice!
Nothing can be done. Fate has chosen. I have seen it. Time stops for no man.
Look, you might have made up your mind, but some of us don't give up at the first sign of trouble. You've read the book, right? You gotta know where he's headed.
The road to immortality is long. He is far from here by now.
Time to cut the ominous riddle-me-diddle apathetic crap. Where exactly is far?
Ugh, here, take this. On your grave be it.
What's this?
It'll tell you all you need. Now, leave. Let me keep what little dignity I have left.
This is some serious stuff.
I stole it from his pack sack. Alas, maybe...
Yep, now.
Hey. It's Drareth.
Well, Drareth, the princess will be back.
I wish that were true.
The Dark Arts, a beginner's guide to the path of sin. I need to find out what these symbols mean. I should probably examine this creature. Wait a second. This map looks strangely familiar, like I've seen it 100 times before. Now, I might be wrong. Only one. This looks like some sort.